What's going on, everybody? This is a segment from the Nerdgasm Talk podcast. If you like podcasts, well, why don't you come join us as the crew gets silly and Philly while we sit to talk about the latest in comics, games, movies, and all things pop culture. You guys can listen to our whole show on all the podcasts apps. We're on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever you guys get your podcasts from. And make sure you guys also support the channel by subscribing to the Nerd Coalition Studios. And for the gaming needs, make sure you subscribe to Nerd Coalition Level Up. This is the Nerd Coalition. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. And now feel the nerd
because we gotta get to the halftime show.
Yeah.
The halftime show this year starring Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar has blown up. We're just in a week, okay? Because we didn't get a chance to talk about it, but that man won 5 Grammys last week. 5 Grammys.
5 Grammys, and had the Grammys venue singing "Not Like Us."
Now, like, I want y'all to understand something real quick. Now, once
That's
again,
hilarious to me.
I don't. And once again, both of y'all hip hop heads. You know what I'm saying? Cute folk for more newer, but they sketch for the more old school. This is the first time, and correct me if I'm wrong. This is the first time that a diss track has won a Grammy. And has been performed at a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And literally have almost everybody in unison singing the part of their favorite parts.
Yeah.
I have never. There have been great diss tracks, but that's always been within the circle of hip hop.
Called the culture.
In the culture of hip hop, it ain't like these things ain't making the news talk about. So everybody talks so A minor. Nobody. But now this thing got 5 Grammys to the point we see Tues was up there doing the little sweep like Kendrick swept him, and I was just like, "What's happening with this?"
I don't know. We're in the Twilight Zone, like you said.
This is a diss track.
Yes, it is, and not anywhere near like his best song, greatest song.
Oh, exactly.
It is a diss track that won Grammys and got him. Let's be real, and got him that slot on the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Oh, definitely.
Which I got a little thing to argue with Charlamagne, but I'll get to that. I said, but yeah. So Kendrick is there, and he's performing the Super Bowl, and then everybody was wondering, like, well, is he going to perform Not Like Us? Is he going to talk about it? Is he allowed to talk about it?
Probably not.
You know,
probably just didn't care.
Everybody was saying, like, well, what is the thing going to be? And I have to say here that overall, I'm going to get your overall opinion real quick. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great halftime show. And once again, because of what I knew what to expect from Kendrick, and he delivered on that, and I've seen a lot of opinions. And I got some of the people who really loved it, people who did not like it, a lot of people who really just didn't understand it. And a lot of people just don't like to think. You know what I'm saying? It's want to bop and stuff like that. And I can understand. So when you can't understand stuff, you automatically say, I don't like something. But I want to ask you, Lady Sketch, and I'm going to ask you, Q-Flow, your thoughts on that Super Bowl halftime show. Overall, before we get into like the Lady Sketch, start with you.
So overall, I liked it. But I also think that I know what to expect because I'm a Kendrick Lamar fan.
Yes.
So I knew going into this, it wasn't going to be like some simple he on stage and we rapping the biggest hits. It's going to tell a story.
Yes.
If Kendrick's nothing else, he is a storyteller, loves a theme. So I'm like, okay, I don't know exactly what the theme is going to be. I figured it would be something surrounding GNX.
Yeah.
Because that's what's happening right now. So, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the symbolism. I enjoyed the shots. I enjoyed him looking in the camera and going, "Say Drake."
Say Drake.
Oh.
I enjoyed the A minor track. Everything. The whole thing. All of it.
How about you, Q-Flow? Just the overall before we get like the detail of it.
Yeah, I thought it was fire. I didn't have any problems with it. I like the song choices. I thought once I saw SZA, I'm like, all right, they gonna do all the lights. All the lights. That's Kanye. They gonna do all the stars.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were gonna do Luther though, just because that song is too new. But heck, I was wrong.
Everything else was on from GNX besides Humble and DNA.
And your Fury.
Well, yeah. That when you got the
Yo,
stuff
when he did that little part of youth, it was crazy because like me and the homies was doing like an over under on like what songs he was going to do.
Yeah.
Only one person said Euphoria, and I'm like, bro, if he do Euphoria, that's kind of crazy. And he did it. I'm like, oh snap! All right, well,
yeah, which I can understand it goes over because once again, if you're not paying attention to beef, if you're not following like shit, if this was me 2 years ago, I'd have been like, well, what the fuck part? What song is this? Because I wasn't following the beef.
If you that man that Desi Banks was talking to.
Exactly.
I was like, bro, leave that man alone. He paid thousands of dollars for these tickets. He just want to watch the game.
Yeah, but he didn't understand what was going on. So I understand him trying to explain it. But once again, like I said, the similar, and once again, All Right's one of my favorite songs too. But I'm like, he did that at the Super Bowl already.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, so he did it already. So I wasn't.
I think y'all be forgetting that he was here a couple years ago.
Yeah, and I was like, and he did that. So I'm like, okay, I figured you got to bring someone. You're obviously going to promote GNX some more. Although you're gonna take a little bit of time to shine. But everybody was wondering if he gonna do not like us. But what the one thing like I said, which I was saying about that storytelling is, they had the whole setup in like a gaming pad type thing. PlayStation game pad. Yeah, the X, a Sony
product.
Yes.
I mean, you didn't give us your overall unless you done and we get.
Oh no, overall, I said first. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Yeah. But go ahead. You were saying a Sony
PlayStation pad.
Yeah.
You know, the same company that owns UMG, the one that Drake is suing.
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought that was great. It was like 4 different stages, and in the middle they had Samuel L. Jackson there as Uncle Sam, which I'm telling you from the stuff I've been looking at online, just to research talk about this, that flew over so many people's heads.
Know who Uncle Sam is. I'm realizing a lot of the imagery and things that we saw growing up that was really prevalent.
Yeah.
Like Uncle Sam, Rosie the Riveter, things like that. That is not recognizable to a lot of younger audience. Like that Pam Grier picture, we had like a play on the Rosie the River.
Yeah.
Those kids would look at that and be like, "What is that?
What is that?" Yeah.
They wouldn't know who Rosie the River or Pam Grier is at this point, honestly.
Which I heard nigga Pam Grier Fox.
But yeah, a lot of them don't understand the symbolism of it.
Yeah.
Now the older people who was complaining do.
Yeah, but you know what? Some of the people we're calling the MAGAs or the far right stuff like that. That's still over their head too.
Yeah,
I've seen them was actually praising for bringing the American flag and Uncle Sam to the thing. I was like, y'all clearly don't get what the fuck is going on here.
Listen, and I think that's part of the plan.
Yeah.
You don't think that him and everybody else who was playing this knew that? Because all they saw was American flag. People dressed up with like an American flag.
Yeah.
And somebody dressed up as Uncle Sam. And that was that. And it was just because it was black. I'm sorry. I just had to say. I see somebody say, "Oh, you mean to tell me all those people on the stage and you couldn't find a place to put at least one white person?" And somebody said, "No, we got rid of DEI, remember?
Oops.
It was based on merit and black people dance better." I said, "Whoa."
Ooh.
That's true.
Would you like some Vaseline for that burn?
I
was just like,
so Crisco, cook butter.
I'll be honest with you. I love when people flip shit around.
Yeah. Kendrick was starting off doing what Kendrick wanted to do. But Uncle Sam was telling him, yo, that's too ghetto. That's just, too much. That's too much. That ain't what America wants. Give what America what they want. Or what, and then, he slowed it down. He brought SZA out there.
Well, okay, so he said that was too much. That part was that came after the GNX intros.
Yeah.
With the Negro clown car. And when everybody and their mama was coming out, he said that, and then he did Humble.
Humble, yes.
And DNA.
And then he did that part of Euphoria. But then the one part I really liked, that was probably one of my favorite parts of the thing, is when he was doing Man in the Garden, right? If people don't look, so he had all the fellas on on the street pole, or they was down there, and they was just chilling. And he was sitting there rapping the song, and then Uncle Sam comes over, and he was like, "Oh, so you brought your homeboys with you? We're like a cultural cheat code. Deduct one life." And I was like, that shit was deep because that shit flew over so many people's heads to the point. What you about to say, Q4?
No. I'm agreeing with you. I was saying it was cold.
Because I was like, what y'all get is see, like, it's like Uncle Sam was telling him what he needed to do, but then he goes in there, gets his homeboys, and they do everything, try to go innocent, and then so deduct the one life for not behaving is taking one of our lives, like that they would do with police brutality or brutality that happens with black people all the time. And I was just like,
how dare y'all have joy?
Yeah.
How dare you rise above what I told you to do?
Yeah, and that shit flew over
a lot of people.
And I was just like, yikes. Y'all got to, well, once again, I understand that there are people out there who just don't want to.
You watching now? I'm gonna try and put it in the context. You watching football?
Yeah.
I would gather to say, unless you're a person who has football IQ, knows what's going on, can break all this down, and would be looking at this like an analyst would be looking at this.
Yeah.
A lot of people are mentally checked out because you're watching sports.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that watching sports is stupid or people watching sports are stupid, but I want anybody to bet me money that you're going and sitting down and watching a football game, a basketball game, a soccer game, whatever, and being like, I'm ready to engage my mind.
Yeah.
Because that's not what that is. And I'm like, I think that's the issue, that a lot of people are just like, I don't want to do that. Because me and you had this conversation, and I'm getting to this part later once we finish talking about the performance, with people wanting to check out, and it's just like, I just want the bops. I don't care about I don't want to be thinking about this story that we telling and how this. I'm not here for all of that.
Yeah.
And a lot of people thinking that because they feel that way, that everybody feels that way.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, if you are a Kendrick Lamar fan, you knew what to expect.
Yes.
You knew we was getting. I didn't know we was going to get all GNX, but you knew it was going to be a good chunk of GNX in there because that's new, and you knew it was going. And all of his projects tied together have some kind of theme in some kind of way.
Yeah.
You knew what you was getting yourself into. But a lot of people, despite the fact that they like to pretend like they weren't, like y'all wasn't out here, pull up, drink. Y'all acting like y'all wasn't listening to Section 80 and Good Kid, Mad City.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nobody checking for him. I ain't trying to do all of that, y'all. So, I think that is part of the big disconnect. Besides the people who just hated it to hate it.
Yeah.
I did like hearing from some people who might be Kendrick fans and were objectively giving criticisms for it versus just being like, don't nobody want to hear all of that shit. And I'm like, all right, bro. Okay.
Yeah, because most of the time they were just being contrarians too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or they're just Drake fans. Or they're just Aubrey fans.
Well,
that too.
Another part when he bring out the ladies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he starts teasing, not playing out like us, right?
Mm-hmm.
He said, I want to play their favorite song, but they sue.
Oh, they like this. I thought they said, I thought he said, they like a suit. Like a lawsuit.
Yeah.
But either way, they like to sue, he like a suit, whatever.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then, Uncle Sam was getting real mad. He told me, gotta wise up. We ain't gonna play that song, but then that's when he brings the scissor out. Yeah. And then we got Luther, which I do like Luther.
Because you had to get a little bit of you gotta get a little crafty and slow it down and distract everybody before you strike.
Exactly, yeah. And do that, and I knew they was gonna do a little snippet of all the songs, and that's a universal song that everybody likes. And it's a huge bop that everybody likes, right? And then that's when we get to the, because now that's what America want to see.
Exactly.
That's what they want. That's the box everybody want to talk about. And I'm like, if y'all listen to yourselves when y'all be arguing on social media, right? If y'all really listen to yourselves,
this is a social media conversation happening.
They exactly said everything, which what also that you like, that you wanted to hear. That's what America want to hear, right? And it's like, oh damn, check yourself, right? And then. But then that's when Kendrick goes out there. It's like, he teased that Not Like Us Again, and that beat drop.
He said, "Mustard on the beat, oh."
And then it goes into that, and boy, what I tell you, I was like, all right, how far is he going to go?
I think everybody was waiting with bated breath to see how far he was going to go, and he went there.
And boy, when he looked at the camera and said,
"Skirt,"
and we looked at the camera and said, "Say Drake, I hear you like I'm young."
No, it's not even just that he got to the Say Drake. It was the sly smile and look directly into the camera.
Knowing over
Say Drake.
Knowing you got over like 80-something million people watching this, you got 100,000 in the stands right now. Which I was just like, okay, now he's going to. So we know what part I get to, and they didn't disappoint.
They did not disappoint. That's why, because I was like, I hear everybody firing up right now. Did anybody want to see this? And then the stadium immediately. After I had that thought, A minor. I said,
I knew they was going to give it to me when they was whopping, and I was like, okay, they get into this, and I was like, when they doing it, I was like, just let them go. And I was like, oh my god, they got the whole fucking stadium.
Once he got there and he hadn't done it yet, I said, the last song was going to be TV Off.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay.
And then that's what he did.
Rightfully so. It's a good song to end on. Because everybody wants to scream Mustard.
Yeah, and then it Mustard came out there.
Mustard got to come out.
And then Serena's out there crip walking.
Bruh! Okay, now listen, okay? Because if it's any other reason that I love a petty moment like this, because when I tell you I get so tired of Drake dragging all these, you dragging women being, listen, men are allowed to be emotional. That's not what I'm saying. But this man was out here giving Serena 100. He was everybody, okay? Everybody he publicly dated, he was weird. He be weird with people he not publicly dating. So I'm like, bruh, although I was like, I feel in my bones that somebody's going to flip it around and be like, isn't she married with kids now? Why does she care? No. I don't care. I want my lick back because you was out here trying to make me look stupid. So sure. And also, I want my lick back on all the white people who was trying to defame me as a world-renowned tennis player because I hit a little baby crip walk during a match or after a match. Fuck y'all.
I pointed this out when I was watching it. I was like, "Is that Serena?" He was like, that wouldn't be so. Wait, is it? I said that's
Serena.
Man, look, you know them legs, them muscular legs, them tennis legs.
She
you know them legs.
She was up there killing it.
Yeah.
I said, you better go ahead, girl. You better do it.
Then he shut that damn TV off thing and went black, and then you see the crowd says, Game over. And it needs to be. It's done. Drake need to leave this shit alone.
Leave that man alone. Why y'all... I want y'all all right now to go back and tell Jermaine you sorry. Okay? Because y'all gave that man so much shit. He had the foresight. He saw this coming from miles away. This man, he has been kicking this man while he been down for 6 months. And anything. Everybody likes to talk about, we don't need them awards and all that external validation. Bullshit. Okay? Because you tell me that if you got a Grammy, you got a nomination, that you're going to be like, I'm not going to get that nomination. Come on now. It has to be kind of sweet to be like, I made this as a throwaway song to diss this man, and it got me, not 1, not 2, but 5 Grammys in the first rap song to get Record of the Year ever.
making history out there.
And I'm like, and this is the part that be pissing me off also, right? Everybody, because you just want to make a point, y'all just be saying shit, okay? Two things. Oh, wasn't nobody even checking for Kendrick before this? Somebody was. Okay?
Yeah.
Somebody obviously was. Because let's talk about it.
Go say
If it had to be all that nobody was checking for him, and he wasn't that big of a threat, then Drake wouldn't have went after him in the first place. That's the first thing. But the second of all, you don't get to 12 Grammys, and you don't get to a Pulitzer Prize without somebody, anybody, checking for you. I would love to go and find the context right now of how many of his albums are platinum, or how many streams he has, because everybody always loves to talk about the numbers.
Yeah.
So, what's up? And if we talking about numbers, he got more views apparently in one day than it took Usher to get to in 11 months. His Super Bowl performance.
Yeah,
because everybody's going back and watching it.
Yeah.
Whether you hate watching it or you just trying to figure out what the hell is going on, somebody's going back and watching it.
Now, I was listening to the Breakfast Club earlier.
Oh, Lord. What Leonard say? Don't piss me off.
So, now, it's not that because I was trying to agree with someone in the conversation, and Charlamagne was saying that he felt as though that Kendrick didn't need to do Not Like Us. He didn't want that because that is define Kendrick. Kendrick has so much more than Not Like Us, and he didn't feel as though that need to be in Super Bowl. And then who's the girl that's on there with him?
Which one? Because there's two of them now. It's Just Hilarious, and I don't remember the other girl. I think her name is like Lauren something.
I don't know which one this one was on.
Does she have short hair or like longer hair or braid?
I don't know. Like it was in a bun.
Oh, that might have been Just Hilarious.
Okay, and then there's the other dude on there.
DJ Envy.
DJ Envy, yeah. So and they was kind of going back and forth with him a little bit and saying that, listen, they said that Not Like Us song did help him get on this Super Bowl.
But it also led us to GNX.
It did once again, but and he felt as though that now if you're gonna do that, Chopper was like he should have went all the way with it. Because he wanted to hear the verse and say, "Once upon a time, we was all in chains." That verse also. And
We did all of that.
Listen.
In the rest of the performance.
But but see, here's my thing. What I was listening to, I was just like, listen, because I understand what he was trying to say. It's him being a big Kendrick fan or hip hop head saying that song does not define Kendrick Lamar, and it's not even his best song, and they just need to be on there. I have to kind of argue with this. There are 20 songs from Michael Jackson that I love and want to hear over Billie Jean.
But people want to hear.
But this is Michael fucking Jackson we talking about. But let me tell y'all this. Q4, you listening?
Mm-hmm.
Other than Human Nature, if you go to a Michael Jackson show, out of everything y'all hear, y'all gonna be jamming. Y'all will be salty if he did not do Billie Jean on that show.
Absolutely.
Does he need to do Billie Jean? No. But they know that is the song that's associated with the moonwalk.
Yes,
right?
They want to hear Billie Jean. They want to see the moonwalk. They want to hear the Thriller stuff.
Yeah.
Or Bad.
Does that define who Michael is? No. Like I said, there are 20 tracks or 20 records I can listen to. I can listen to a whole show that don't even have to have Billie Jean on it because Mike got so many hits that it's like trendsetting. He don't need all that. But when you're at his show, it's like he got to play that song.
Yeah.
He has to play
that
song.
You really have no choice.
So you can't come onto the Super Bowl after winning 5 Grammys and also...
the week before, mind you. Not even just...
The week before winning 5 Grammys. And then, of course, it being the major song that it was, it's a diss track, and not do that song. That's one of the things I was disagreeing with him when he was saying that. I was like, no, you have to do that song. you will cause more outrage of not doing that song.
More people, I feel like, would have been upset if he hadn't done the song.
And then I see complaints about that Kendrick didn't go hard enough. I'm like, listen, I don't know how hard or think like would y'all want like a Klansman swinging from a tree? Like that's not going to happen on the halftime
But
show.
that's my thing. Is again subtle imagery.
Yes.
Very much.
Well, I think when things go over people's heads.
In his lane.
Yeah, I once again, he gave a lot of energy. He gave a lot in there, but once again, there are some people that don't like that. There's some people that, whether they be too conscious, it's just like it could have went deeper, or I'd rather not, don't tease us, give us the whole type of thing. Like, there's always going to be somebody that's not going to be satisfied.
Yeah, you're never going to satisfy everybody. But this is my thing. It feel like it's always a discourse online, like, what I was saying earlier when we was talking, it's always a discourse online about don't nobody want to hear all of that. Don't nobody want to care about the lyrics. Y'all, people just want to go out and shake their ass, and that can be completely fine. But then when it can't be you want to go out and do the bops, and nobody will be thinking about all of that. And then when it's time when shit goes haywire, like it is right now.
Yeah.
You want to be looking to the people who you were clowning because they was into the lyrics. Okay, well, what do we do now? What do we do now? And vice versa.
Hey, the revolution will be televised. It's at
the
right time.
The right time with the wrong guy.
Right time, but the wrong guy.
And I'm sorry. This is gonna sound like hating. I'm sorry, but I would have not enjoyed a Wheezy halftime show. And say
not at the state that he's in now.
No,
at all.
I'm about to say. I want to bring this attention because
we saw Wheezy live at Mania and it was okay. You remember he came out before?
Yeah, I'm about to say it could have been better. Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, but recently, like I was looking around on that and people were showing some clips of Wheezy's most recent shows, and I'm just like, did he just not know how to do live no more?
Some people. Yeah. I can't say a lot, but there are some artists who admit that they do not remember the words to their songs and shit.
Yeah,
especially once you get 20, 30 years removed from them Jones, they do not remember the words, and they just be up there winging it.
Right now, people just want the hits, and I get it. And I'm just
want the hits, baby.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Bow Wow next year, y'all.
Bow Wow
next year, y'all.
Don't put that out in the universe.